I train and teach martial arts and combatives on a daily basis. I teach Thai boxing, several systems of Eskrima, as well as my combatives teaching pulls liberally from modern Chimandi and the Medusa edged weapon system. I am also training in the Western Piper method and continuing to learn different knife combatives and other forms of martial arts. These days, my main focus is the Medusa edged weapon system, the Campo 123 original, and my personal bridging system of Eskrima, which pulls liberally from Mati Arnis at its base, as well as some from Balintawak Quintada Eskrima, which I give the label of Boondock Eskrima. Boondock means mountain, but it also means mountain hillbilly, outsider, somebody who lives out of society. After over 30 years in the Filipino martial arts community, this name has a lot of meaning for me. But anyway, I digress here. This is my background, but what I train more than 50% when I'm by myself is very simple, aggressive, and gross motor movements that I can apply quite easily under pressure. I do this often. I do this to a point where most people would be bored by doing the same things over and over. But I do this for a reason. You see, this is my insurance policy. I want to be as good as I can at countering violence. Violence is growing in Canada. Violent crimes are up. Violence is up 40%, actually 44% since 2014, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. There are many reasons for this, I'm sure, but I'm not here to figure those out. I'm only here to teach people how to better protect themselves if they have to. I believe in being a tool user, so I train with blunt impact weapons, edged weapons, and improvised weapons. I train to be aggressive. I train to be straightforward and simple. I train to be focused on doing violence first if violence is the answer. Because as Tim Larkin says, when violence is the answer, it is the only answer. That quote has a lot of meaning. That quote is something you should repeat to yourself again, because when violence is the answer, well, violence is rarely the answer, but when it is, you better be ready to use it, because if you're not, then you will be the one having violence done to you. A lot of people would call me paranoid for doing this. A lot of people would call me paranoid for always trying to be aware of what's going on around me. But this is just insurance. Violence insurance. Most of us have fire insurance. The latest crime counts from 2023 are that there were 572,572 violent crimes in Canada in 2023. In the same year, there were 160,000 fire insurance claims. Violence insurance seems to be something that is more important. And let's not forget that violent crimes are hugely underreported. It is very likely that there were way more violent crimes than those reported. It is hard to even guess how many more violent crimes happened than those that were reported. If we've ever had any experience with the revolving door of justice in Canada, we will likely understand why people don't bother reporting. People are frustrated by what's going on around them, and even police officers I've talked to are frustrated by the way the law is being handled nowadays, the way our court systems are handled, the way our jails are overcrowded, so they push inmates out before their sentence is through. This is the reality of law enforcement in Canada. So it's up to you to protect yourself, because those who would do you harm are not going to get locked up for very long. And let's not forget that there are many in our culture who aren't able to protect themselves. The elderly, the young, children. So if you are able-bodied And if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time where somebody is having harm done to them, it sure would be nice to have some skills. Skills in the ability to apply force to another human being when it is necessary and when it is reasonable. Because you may find yourself facing a choice. Do I get involved? Knowing you have violent skills may make it easier to make the choice to help someone else. But there is an addendum here. First of all, if we train, we should train what we enjoy and make it as functional as possible. I wish I loved grappling because I think that is something that is an essential part of self-defense training. However, I gloss over it because it's not something I enjoy. I enjoy eskrima, I enjoy hitting the bag, I enjoy practicing pugilism, I enjoy practicing the clinch, I enjoy stand-up grappling, so I practice all of those, but I need to get on the ground a little bit because I need to be able to survive in that environment. But if I just force myself to do a martial art to ready myself for self-defense, I will get bored and I will not train. If I find something I'm passionate about, I will train almost every day. Secondly, physical skills of fighting are so much less important than having good boundaries, keeping yourself away from places that you know are dangerous, such as drinking establishments, etc., where things get a little out of hand at times, and just always being aware and practicing avoidance, de-escalation, the actual self-defense skills. And then save your physical skills for the absolute worst case scenarios and know how to scale your use of force so that you're not always training lethal levels of force. It is also imperative that you are able to explain your use of force actions like a professional. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more detailed lessons on boondock eskrima, the Medusa edged weapon system, dirty pugilism, and other forms of blunt impact weapons and edged weapons, please support my Patreon. Thank you. Have a great day.